I'm calling this council as a whole meeting for April the 9th, 2024, to order at 7 p.m. All members of council and administration are present except for Councilwoman Graniac, absent and excused. If there's anyone recording this meeting as a courtesy to the public, would you please identify yourself so that your fellow attendees know you're being recorded. Seeing none, the city of Eastlake is recording this meeting. Under legislation proposed 040901, an ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the city of Eastlake, state of Ohio, for the period of January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. The first line item out of the general fund for elections expense for $7,639. $7,600.39. It's because the county billed us $7,639 for this election, and it wasn't in the budget. The second item is transfer to the Recreation Capital Improvement Fund. That is in order to create income for the Recreation Capital Improvement Fund, so that the Recreation Capital Improvement Fund will have enough funds to finish paying for the splash park, and I estimate that to be about $250,000. So it's not that we're spending $270,000. Really, we are spending it twice, but not really in terms of the check, because we're just asking that you allow the transfer to the recreation account so that it can pay its bills and the bill can have to pay its bills. And then the other item is the Capital Stadium Improvement Fund, and we are receiving some cash towards that, and that is for the field that needed to be done at the stadium.
Any questions for Mr. Dillon? None. A resolution, 040902, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation of $2,000 from the Community Events Sponsorship Program for 2024 from NOPEC on behalf of the city and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. We have the ability to get $2,000 for community events with your resolution, and it's $2,000 to be used in the community for any events that the city will be doing. It's a grant from NOPEC, and I feel like we can not take the $2,000.
Any questions for Mr. Dillon? Item 3, 040903, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and the director of finance to accept an Energized Community Grant from NOPEC for a total amount of $39,754 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. This Energized Community Grant allows us the ability to use this money towards anything else. Save energy, such as LED lights. In the past, we had done windows in City Hall because the windows were literally falling out. So anything that saves energy, we're able to use these funds. And therefore, this year, NOPEC has said, well, we have $39,754. If you want to apply for it, send us a resolution, and then we ask in advance to use it for this and that. And we have a good idea, so that's pretty much what we use it for.
Any questions? Item 040904, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation to participate in the ODOT winter contract for road salt for 24-25 winter season and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Every year we have to enter an agreement with the state of Ohio to be able to purchase the salt at the most possible price getting through the salt, because all the cities and the villages get together, including the state, and purchase salt. This year, because we have so much, we've actually requested 1/3 of what we had in the past, and we're only obligated to purchase 90% of that figure, and that's approximately what was used this winter season. So, worst case, we anticipate that we would not be adding to the salt in, but at the same time have the ability to continue to purchase should any emergency storm come up. It would give that ability.
Okay. Any questions? Last item, 040905, 040905, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to purchase an electronic sign from Acre Signs, the lowest and best and most responsible bidder, for a total of $40,645.70 and declaring emergency.
Thank you. I cannot speak specifically on the sign. I had 3 different quotes. I can tell you this amount was in the budget, but there are people that are more knowledgeable on this particular sign. I just can assure you that the money has been set aside and was in the budget when we prepared the budget.
Any questions?
That was the location of the sign was intended to go out.
No, this sign replaces the sign from the fire station, it's the old sign with the letters that they manually put in, so this will be all daily program remotely and with different things, and alerts, stuff like that will come on, so it's updating next time.
Now, I know, you and I talked about it a little bit before, with the intent of, increasing communication with our residents, is it location up for discussion? I mean, like, would somewhere, say, like the southeast corner of I-91 be better because it'll see more traffic and more residents will pass through, and visitors will pass through, so they want information.
I think that the reason the one got taken down was because the road down, it's a distraction down there. We had, if you remember, they had that sign down there.
Yeah.
So they had to take it out to actually the city told that it was like on that intersection, it was distracting for drivers, so that's why I had to move.
And then my last thought on this one was if we're earmarking this money for increasing communication and information for our residents, I was thinking maybe it would be more appropriate to see if there are ROIs the money went towards our website and improving video what's on here, website contact and looking at ways of that. I think if we see more traffic through the website, then we would see over here.
I don't see the website that we're that much traffic that cars are out there.
Do we have a comment on the website, to track traffic?
You can send it over, I don't think the website is that. Marketing's been there forever, people look for it, so they look for information on the market.
So if I could add a couple of things, just off the top of my head, like the mayor stated, that marquee has been there forever. We are upgrading it, believe it or not, and I know it sounds a little absurd, but to go letter by letter, to put the messages on there, the amount of requests we get for messages, we have to limit the time that they're up there. So usually, at least once a week, we're changing the letters. Now, bad weather, in winter especially, but rain, going letter by letter, to take those down, one by one, take them back, clean them up, dry them up, put them in the proper spot they belong, then pull out the new sign that you want to put up for both sides. Believe it or not, it will end up costing about half a day for an employee. So this time, you'll be able to program right from the cloud, and you can put multiple messages on it at once. So when it's time, it will switch, so you can accommodate more of the, whether it's the recreation groups or the schools, a lot of times where they use them. And like somebody mentioned, EMA goes right to it, as well as Amber Alerts will go right to it. So it's really a pretty impressive thing, and something that I feel we need.
Yeah, that one in the corner of the stadium, didn't somebody get that years ago? Wasn't that?
Yeah. I think years ago it did, the original one, then somebody, then they bought a used one that never did work.
And then walk off.
Right, from another East Lake city, somewhere else, from another administration.
Any other questions?
I would recommend maybe when we install it, get a couple of, just posts, we cement them in somewhere around that, it's like maybe a
So it
angle
goes
from
with it.
91, so if somebody does veer off the road.
It comes with it. And it actually mounts to the existing post, the existing wiring, and there is no communication wiring either.
You're talking about
Battle service. It It also comes with a, I don't wanna say the wrong thing, but it's so many years warranty, if it should get hit, obviously goes through insurance, but it's covered.
Any other questions? We have no legislation pending at this time. Anybody have anything else? Seeing nothing, I adjourn this meeting at 7:10 p.m. Calling this regular council meeting of April the 9th, 2024, order at 7:10 p.m. Mr. Myers, will you lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Here.
Yes, here.
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 Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the April 19th, 2024 meeting? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of March 26th, 2024?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis.
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Motion carried, the minutes are approved. Next regularly scheduled council as a whole meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April the 23rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. The regular council meeting follows immediately the adjournment of the council as a whole meeting. We have no motions, we have no communications or petitions. Were there any committee meetings? Committee meetings. The floor is now open for recognition of the public. Remind speakers that all remarks will be directed to the chair and will not involve personalities, and are limited to 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes total time. I have one person signed up to speak. Mr. Holzberg? Can you state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Tony Hosevar. I live at 4903 Sutton Boulevard in Richmond Heights. I'm here this evening, Mr. President, to present myself as the candidate for State House District 23, for which you are a part of. I'm Republican, and I'm just here to introduce myself. I have no other comments. If anyone has any issues, questions, concerns of me, I'll be glad to address them at any time. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. Look me up and we'll talk. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir. The legislation closed. Will the clerk please read legislation 040901?
An ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the city of Eastlake, state of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules requiring said readings and readings in full?
I'll second that.
Will the clerk please call the roll? Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis.
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis.
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Semick.
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet.
Yes. Motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 040902?
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to accept a donation of $2,000 from the Community Event Sponsorship Program for 2024 from NOVAC on behalf of the city and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. Motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 040903?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to accept an Energize Community Grant from NOVAC in the total amount of $39,754 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. The motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 040904?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation to participate in the ODOT winter contract for road salt for the 2024-2025 winter season and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Second. Clerk please call the roll.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. Motion carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation 040905?
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to purchase an electronic sign from Acre Signs, the lowest and best and most responsible bidder, for the total amount of $40,645.70 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
Yes.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Katrina?
Yes.
Mr. Stelman?
Yes.
Mr. Sonic?
No.
Mr. Ogletree?
Yes. The legislation is carried. The motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. We have no legislation pending, we have no unfinished business, we have no new business. We will move on to administrative reports. Our mayor and safety director, Scott.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome. First off, local government fund update, in a meeting April 1st, the West End mayors and finance directors here worked on a new formula that was developed by Ronaldo from ex-mayor of Wade Hill, to 90% of our 24 allocation. April 5th, went to the work group at Menard to discuss a new formula. They said caps our loss at 90% over 24 and holds it for 7 years. Seemed pretty receptive. The other mayors and representatives of the other cities and townships and villages are working on that, finish that up. Also attended a border insecurity and the impact on Northeast Ohio roundtable. That's put on by Jerry Serino, and keynote speaker was AG Dave Yost. All of us in mayors were there, including Menor. And then we met with Superintendent of Louisiana Schools, Dr. Ward. All the mayors were there. We met with them on Friday. And that's good for my report.
Any questions for the mayor?
Chief Whittington.
Thank you, Mr. President. So yesterday, obviously, the Eclipse went off without a hitch. I think it was actually an amazing event for the city. Just a little behind the scene things. So, we had, I think, every department, police, fire, and service had extra staffing brought in. I know that we had put together a formal plan where, the PD was doing security, we were watching the roads. We had, I talked to Kevin about the event roads needing to be closed or whatever that may be. And then we had extra staffing. Usually what happens if we have, especially if we have a wind event in the city, we just kind of divide the city up into 4 divisions, 4 quadrants. And that's kind of what we had ran yesterday, but we really didn't have any marked incidents. So as we try to bring the city a lot of families out there. So that should probably be a very good day for everybody. The county EOC was activated. We had our department operations center set up, so we were coordinating with them all day. And again, it was just a lot of planning, a lot of things in place. I think we could been able to address just about anything that wasn't thrown at us, but we did this, nothing did, so that's a good thing. Just on a side note, I know that Tom's not even, he's already gone, but I wish Tom the best in his retirement. Tom was, an amazing professional. He did his job very, very well. He was great to work with. He always had his best interest. He was always on top of things. So I think that Tom probably didn't get the credit he deserved a lot for the things he actually did to the city. I'm also looking forward to working with Brian, and I'm sure he brings the same to the table. Brian, just as a side note, Tom used to laugh at me and Larry jokes all the time. Other than that, open questions.
Any questions for the fire chief?
Chief Frank. Chief Whittington covered most of the Eclipse.
Really good. You gotta know that.
Well, we, had no issues either. We did just close, entrance test, so we're in the process of getting names and still have some hiring to do. We finished our promotional testing, and we're just waiting for a couple, retirements, so we're trying to get as much prepared as possible going into the year. That's all I have.
Any questions for Chief Wright? Our building official, Mr. Mann?
Thank you. I just wanted to say, if anybody has any concerns how the building department handles themselves, sends out violation letters, or anything with permits, feel free to come in and talk to me in my office, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Mann? Our service director, Mr. Costello.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are quickly switching from winter to summer. Just a couple of things quick. I know I submitted our work order, monthly work order report and point of sale report in writing. But a couple of things, the soccer league will be starting up this weekend, Saturday. And Little League Baseball has started, and they will be beginning their season, I believe, the first weekend in May. And the asphalt plants are open. We were able to do some hot mix, full patch or hot mix repairs starting today, so we'll continue on that, as well as grass cutting, typical switch to summer. With that, I'm open for questions.
Any questions for our service director? Our new city engineer, not sure if I pronounced your last name, I'm going to butcher it.
Brian Leach.
Mullich. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council, Mr. Mayor. Last week, I was able to attend the pre-construction meeting for the Bond Street project, held at the Ohio Department of Transportation office. The work is scheduled to get started tomorrow, with maintenance, traffic signs, and sign board starting, at the Lakeshore segment with Woolwick, and then they'll be working east until they get into the city. Project will work through 91 this year, and then will continue east of 91 expected next spring. The other
the projects, we had two projects for bids that were open on Friday. First one for East 347, and the second for Lakeshore Boulevard, Lakeland Boulevard. We are currently evaluating the bids, and we should have results next week. With that, I'm open for questions.
Any questions? Seeing none, our finance director, Christian Young.
Thank you. I met with the auditors today. They anticipate wrapping up that report, I think it was about September 28th. So you will hear me say, the auditors are working on financials for a very long time. And that's my report. They're gonna be here for a while, or online.
Any questions for Mr. Hill? And last but not least, our law director, Mr. Kleiner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing to report.
Any questions for our law director? Seeing none, this meeting was adjourned at 7:26.